What's up, everybody? Oh, man. What a day. Today's going to be pretty exciting, man. I ain't going to lie to you. We're hanging with Mark and Dougie, and we're going to try a new format where we both get to speak and have a lot of fun because we have a lot to say. And Doug has a lot to say. And we might butt heads a little bit. I don't know. There's a chance of it, you know. But I'll tell you what, man, there's some crazy stuff going on, man. I had a great weekend, man. I don't know about you, Doug, but I had a good weekend, man. What'd you do this week?
Oh man, I was in Fort Myers this past weekend, finishing up some shows over there at Laugh-In Comedy Cafe, and flew home. And every time I go back to Florida, I'm so glad I live in Greenville, South Carolina.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sorry. The traffic. Listen, it's just notable. Like people here drive so much better. In Florida, people cut you off. They don't give a shit. I mean,
Aggressive.
it's I live in heaven on earth over here. Greenville's heaven on earth.
Well, I had a really crazy weekend, man. I had a guy call me, I buy a lot of stuff, and a guy called me, and I went to a hoarder's house. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
You went to a whore's house?
Well, not a whore house, a hoarder.
Oh, I thought you were going to see my ex-girlfriend or something.
So I actually drove to Alabama, Mobile, and you ever watch the show American Pickers? I was at that house where there were Chevys and there was old refrigerators and Coke machines. But this guy had some of the nicest sports. Hey, you would appreciate this, Doug. I bought a Pele game used Cosmo jersey. That might be good on your wall. I bought a Giorgio Canaglia game used Cosmo jersey. I bought some Muhammad Ali sparring gloves that he wore. A lot of high end stuff. A Dream Team basketball signed by the whole Dream Team. I mean, they spent a lot of money. But I'll tell you what, it was a long trip, but it was worth it, man. I had a good time. It was worth it, man. We had a really good time. But, on that note, man, we have a lot to speak about, and I'm going to get right to it, man, because, man, something's going on. Something's in the water, man. Something's going on. But this thing with Gruden is really ticking me off, man. It's really ticking me off. And I think you know what I'm talking about, right, Doug?
Yeah. Well, he had to resign, right? He resigned for some personal emails that he had sent.
I mean, first of all, we really worried about Gruden's emails? Is that the guy we're worried about? Hunter Biden has crack whores that are 14 years old on his email. But we're worried about Biden called somebody a homo. Seriously, not Biden, Gruden. You have Biden's emails. God knows what. Hillary's emails. We couldn't find 33,000 emails that Hillary had, but we found one Gruden email from 2012. I mean, what is going on, Doug?
Well, I think there was more, right? Because at first there was one email that he made some references, and then they ended up, it was a trove of more, which showed how do you say it? It showed like a pattern, which is kind of the bad part about it. It's one thing if you say something bad once because you're in a mood, but if you have a pattern of saying it.
Kind of like Al Sharpton has a pattern.
Well, he's just a complete fucking phony, right? I mean, we all know by now. I mean, anybody that follows that guy. Anybody that follows him is crazy.
Mm-hmm. But here's the problem I have, Doug. What's good for one is good for the other, okay? Sure, should he call somebody a name? I don't know. Comedians do it all the time. I'm sure you do it all the time. So should he call somebody a name? Maybe, maybe not. But that's a priority. You know what I'm saying? No one gets hurt with a name being called. The problem that we're having, you're looking at emails where he wasn't with that team. He wasn't on that team, okay? First of all, you're looking at something in his private life. If you look at everybody's private life and what they have said in their private life, everybody would be in trouble. Everybody. Mother Teresa has said something. Everybody would be in trouble. And listen, could you give the guy a warning and say, listen, man, don't do that now. You did that 7 years ago. Don't do that now. The problem I have, and I'm going to say it, man, because this is what this show's about, is saying what you feel, okay? Me being a white male of my age, straight white male, I have less to say. I'm allowed to say less than someone that is not of my minority, my color, or my sexuality. Right, yeah. And that's kind of the issue that I'm having right now. Gruden's an idiot for putting it on email, especially in that position. But should he lose his job? No, zero. I don't think so.
Well, I mean, he resigned, right? I mean, he wasn't fired.
He was forced. He didn't want to resign.
Forced resignation. I mean, I'm all with this whole thing about names. Name calling and just certain. Come on, man. We live in a chaotic universe. You know what I mean? And unless somebody does something physically wrong or does something against somebody, I mean, come on, man. What are we all like? What are we all, grade schoolers? Oh, Joey called me a sissy. I mean, enough already.
No, he made a mistake, Gruden. I'll tell you where Gruden made his mistake. He should have sang it. He should have sang it in an email like Eminem. Eminem could call you a homo, a fag, anything you want to do, but if you sing it, if you sing la, 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 and sing it, you're good. But if you put it in on paper, you're not. And you know what? There should be a statute of limit. He should have got a warning at best. They definitely should have warned him. Say, listen, we don't condone this kind of behavior. So, this happened years ago. He already said he was sorry. He came on TV, said he was sorry. What's the sense of apologizing? Hey, listen, did, what's his name? Michael Vick get a second chance? Did he play for the Philadelphia Eagles? Would he kill 20 pit bulls? You know what I'm saying? They give everybody a second chance in this world. Why shouldn't Gruden get one? For saying something. He didn't hurt somebody. He said something he shouldn't have said. Maybe it was out of anger. Have you ever said something out of anger, Doug?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Who hasn't?
Exactly. And I just think it's getting worse and it needs to stop. And like I said before, I want to see what's in Hillary's emails. I want to see what's in Hunter Biden's emails. I don't give a fuck what's in John Gruden's emails. He doesn't mean anything.
He's a football coach. He's a football coach. He deals with men who play a game.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And what are we expecting? A moral compass on a football coach? I mean, it's ridiculous. We want people to do the job. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's some people that came out and said that he is a bit of that person. Listen, that's the thing. Sometimes these moments really show us who these people really are. So maybe he is a racist. Maybe he is a homophobe. Maybe I mean. But the bottom line is that you're right. It's like, is this protected speech? Like, as long as you're not slandering somebody or you're not, affecting their livelihood in a sense by the things you're saying, then what the fuck is the problem?
And the funny thing is, I love Charles Barkley. I mean, he's one of my favorites. And he said somebody, man, for a white boy, he can shoot. I mean, he said some crazy things, Why does he get a pass? And I like him. I'm not picking on Barkley and I think he should have freedom of speech. What about Oprah Winfrey? Is she not accountable for what she says? Didn't she say if white people must die to end racism? I mean, I don't know. I think that's kind of racist. I mean, why does she have why does she have a chance to say what she wants to say? Or, Sharpton says, we must off white people. Why is it one race is allowed to do things, but not the other?
Well, if you want equality, then you have to treat things equally. Like, look at Nick Cannon, right? He's no longer hosting, thank God, the America's Got Talent, but he came out and just completely said anti-Semitic comics about the Jews.
Horrible. Yes.
And he's still hosting The Masked Singer. He's still hosting that show. Yeah. And some of the things he said were very, just. They were
very Farrakhan-like. They were very Farrakhan-like. And he's another guy that they put on TV, and Sharpton, all these guys, and they're allowed to have their voice. But, and that's another reason why I do this show, Doug, because I like to get my voice out. And I don't give a shit. I work for myself. I'm not firing myself anytime soon. So I don't give a shit. And I'm not a racist person at all. Not even one little bit. Matter of fact, I'm the opposite. I think we should be equal. I really do. But we have to start acting equal. We can't have racism, and we can't have reverse racism. If we want to be, we're people. We're not black. We're not white. We're people. And it shouldn't matter. And you know what? If someone's a cocksucker, they're a cocksucker. There's nothing wrong with it, man. I'm sure they know it too. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
Yeah, I'd imagine if somebody was an actual cocksucker, they would know.
You never call them that.
Yeah.
You cocksucker.
Yeah. No. I mean, if you say, hey, you make a living as a cocksucker, then all right, that's slanderous, but you just call somebody a cocksucker.
But if he really does make a living being a cocksucker, then he should be proud of it. He's making a living. So I don't see the issue with that either. Hey, listen, this is how I feel, okay? You shouldn't be able to slander people as far as business, say this guy has razor blades in his food or whatever to shut a business down. But if you're doing a blanket at something you said, hey, listen, there's consequences for things that you say. There is. I get it. But you can't watch everything you've said over the last 20 years. Like I said before, if you put a microphone on Mother Teresa since 2000, the words that would come out of that woman's mouth would be incredible, And I'm telling you that.
You think Mother Teresa's sitting there when the cameras aren't on? These cocksuckers.
Yeah, I bet you she does. Yeah, she looks like she could be a little racist, to be honest with you. Yeah, I look at her. There's something up with. No one's that good. No one is that pure. There's always some demon inside.
Well, we're all human. We're all sinners, and and I think that goes to what you're saying. In other words, we all like if you basically unmasked everything from our private lives, like if you took everybody's emails and just put them out there in the Ethernet, that nobody would have a job, nobody would be able to say anything, no, everybody would be canceled.
Yes.
And that's the thing about hypocrisy. This, I can't believe this person said it. Why not? You've said it. It's like even going back to the Trump days when he said that was locker room talk.
Yeah.
They were getting mad at a guy for something he said in a trailer during a interview during a TV show. Like if you just took the things I said in a green room with a comic, that you don't want that stuff aired. That's meant to be between those people, right? That's meant to be in that group.
Yes.
That's communication with another human being.
Yes. And it's called also, you know what? It's called freedom of speech, no matter how much you like it. So now we're being censored on everything we say. If we say stupid things, we'll deal with the consequences. But really, I have to worry about something I said 10 years ago. I mean, come on, and you can also take things out of context. I don't know what the email said, so I'm not going to defend him. I mean, I think it was stupid that he did it in an email, to be honest with you, because part of being famous is being in the limelight. And the more the problem I have, my problem isn't with John Gruden, what he said. I have the problem that there's only one consequence for one type of person. And if you look at it, it seems to be going that way. If you're a straight white male over the age of 45, your freedom of speech is very much limited. And if the same thing, if you're not that, it's not limited. And like I said, I just gave you a lot of inferences why, like with Oprah and Michael Vick and all these people that have done major wrong, and have gotten a second chance.
Well, I think there's certain things that exclude you from the norm. If you are a minority, if you are black, if you say certain things, you're not judged as harshly because you supposedly have reason or purpose behind what you're saying. If you're gay, you can almost say anything you want and get away with it. If you're a liberal, if you're a Democrat, you can get away. I mean, look at all the things at the squad, AOC and that Ilhan Omar and those rag muffins from the squad. They can say shit, and even their own party are like, well, no big deal,
Well, yeah. Well, the good news, I think, is everybody's fed up, and I think there is lashback, and there is things happening now. Things are happening, and people are fed up, man. There's only so much you could take, And right. If you want it to be equal, we have to start acting equal, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, and there's going to be a divide. Like, in other words, it's never going to be any different. If what you're saying, listen, when Trump got elected, why? Because there's a certain part of the country that like, look, we're worried about this. We're worried about the gay community married. Okay, great. You're worried about who pisses and goes to what bathroom. These are the things that we're going to focus on. So there was a certain part of the country that go, fuck this. We wanted to worry about what we're worrying about. And that's when that happened. So, and I think you're right. I do think people are tired of this, this thin-skinned culture that we're in, and this cancel culture. You know what I mean? And look, I'm excited about what happened with Dave Chappelle. Because basically, people try to get him canceled, and that mob mentality didn't work. And I think the more people stand up to that shit, the better.
If that would have been a white comedian, he would have been canceled, and that's the problem. We should be on equal ground. We all should be on equal ground. We're all equal. Yeah. We're all the same. We all bleed red. So if we all bleed red, then we have the same rules.
And, but that's not the way it is. Right now, this society is treating those who supposedly have dealt with things. They're getting more leadway and
dealt with things in their mind. And
that's what's happening. And then if the other side sees it that way, then guess what? They're not going to pull. They're going to keep doing what they do, and never going to change.
Well, I'll tell you something that won't ever change is, the word "fuck Joe Biden" at sports games, and I think people are pissed. And when you go to a Yankee game and they're screaming "fuck Joe Biden" in a Yankee game, we know there's a problem with the president because New York people are very much liberal and they've had enough. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I just wonder what Gruden's going to do now. He's done, right? You don't think he's going to? He won't coach.
I think he's going to be down the Michael Richards avenue where he apologized, man. He should get a second chance, and I don't think he will get one because it's not fair. And all these hypocrites are all going against him. Shannon Sharp, all these hypocrites that say shit what they want to say. They're all going against him. Like, oh, I knew he was a bad man. No, you didn't. You had him on your show. You talked to him. You liked him. You didn't know he was a bad man. Just like Trump. Trump was a bad man. Meanwhile, you kissed his ass before he was president. You all kissed his ass, and now he's a bad man because he's changing things. He's shaking things up. So I just hate the hypocrites out there.
Absolutely, I agree. Well, good luck to him. But so he's been added to the fallen list, like obviously Cosby, the fallen list, right? Mel Gibson, the fallen list.
For different reasons. I mean, Cosby deserved it. Cosby, there wasn't freedom of speech. It was freedom of putting roofenol in women's drinks. So it's a whole completely different thing. Cosby wouldn't have a problem saying, negative things. And who was the second person you said? Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson rebounded. You know why? Because he didn't say it against the blacks. He said it against the Jews. Against the Jews, you're allowed to do anything. If you say something against the Jewish people, like, so what?
Yeah, I get it.
About black people. See how far Mel Gibson goes.
Yeah, Lance Armstrong. Remember, he was on the top, and then
that
he got
what the testosterone PEDs.
Right. Yeah, and then of course,
the man rode 70 miles. Let him have a couple of PEDs. I can't drive 7 blocks, so give me. He needs a little something.
I need some steroids just to get the morning mail.
Just to get coffee,
just to get out of bed. But also, but the one who fell the furthest was Felix Baumgartner. You remember that name, Mark?
Baseball player.
Felix Baumgartner is the guy who jumped out of the Red Bull balloon that was up in the atmosphere. He did that free fall in the astronaut.
Oh yes, he set a record, didn't he?
Yeah, yep. And so those are the people that we found in the those who have fallen list.
So did you just say that name just to throw a loop at me, just to screw me up? Because I think I know everything, and you kind of just say, Mark, you don't know nothing. Here's Felix Baumbanger, whatever his name was.
Baumbanger. Baumgartner. Felix Baumgartner. And I only remember that because that was like a joke that I remember. People who have fallen the furthest. Who fell further, Cosby or Baumgartner?
But you know what? There's certain people that they deserve. Like Michael Vick deserves never to work again. And meanwhile, he had a job and he works for the NFL. The NFL has no problem if you kill innocent animals. No problem at all. He did his time. Let him be. He's a serial killer. Let him be. But you know what? You don't get a second. Jamal Lewis. 4 kilos of cocaine. Let him be. He made a mistake. He did his 9 months in prison. He can do whatever he wants now. And that's not the way it is, man. I'd rather have somebody that said something wrong and apologized than somebody that killed my Rottweiler. So that's how I feel.
And I just said, like, I don't care what somebody says.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I said, if words are just words, and we put power in words, then you're just a pussy. I don't care what you said. You know what I'm saying? Somebody says, oh, what if somebody came up to your wife and said that? I go, well, that's different. You're talking to my wife. You know what I mean? So I'm a man. I'm going to stand up. But if you're talking to me and you say something to me, the only way that it would hurt me is if I found truth in what you're saying. Mm-hmm. So, we need to get past this fucking, the words mean so much. It's bullshit.
But here's the issue with this now. Every time you want to get somebody in trouble, you can now. You could dig 20 years ago, 18 years ago, 7. He was at a party. He was here. He had a couple drinks. It doesn't stop. So if you want to take somebody down, like you want to take Trump down, you did. If you want to take down Gruden, you did. But meanwhile, Hillary and Hunter and all these fuck faces, you can't take them down. You have crazy evidence on these people. Like they left people to die. They left soldiers to die. Biden just left people to die. Okay? No problem. Oh, did he say he called that guy a homo, the guy that left to die? Oh, we got a problem with that. So that's the issue I'm having. Real issues we don't take care of. Dumb shit that nobody gives a fuck about and that's really bothering me. And I'll be honest with you, it needs to stop.
Well, I'll say this. I think there's a lot of people that were looking through their emails going, shit, I need to get, and first of all, if you're going to say something once, as long as nobody's recording it, this and that, but nowadays, man, because the way it is,
yeah.
It
wasn't that way in 2013. So, he didn't get caught in 2021. It was 2013, man. It wasn't today. He might not send an email like that now,
I know when it comes back to that, I mean, if you said something when you were 12 or 13, then you're young and now you're a man or whatever, you're grown up, that's a big difference. But if I'm in my 50s, if I said something 10 years ago, it still stands to who I am.
Well, what did he say? Did he call someone a homo? Who cares? Huh. I mean, I get it. If he said, listen, I am going to rape your wife and I'm going to kill your dog, okay, that's some pretty heavy shit. But if he's saying, that guy acts like a homo, whatever he said, I don't know the exact words he said, but who cares? Doug, everybody has said something, and you were actually agreed with me on this. You put a camera or a video or a tape recorder on anybody in the last 20 years, they're done. They're done.
We're all sinful, and that's the thing. Exactly. And we're all judging. That's the scary thing about society is just this judging.
And the people are judging have more skeletons in their closet than anybody. Yeah.
I mean, this judging on being pious. I'm coming from this pious position of all knowing and this and that. It's bullshit. You're righteous. And I think we need to be a little more understanding. I think we need to be a little more in love of our fellow man and in a no homo way. You know what I mean?
That being said, I love you.
I love you too, Marky.
So what else you got, Doug? Talk to me.
Well, we're talking about these mandates, and I thought it was interesting that speaking of sports, Kyrie Irving, from the Brooklyn Nets.
The guy that gets hurt when a small child scares him, he's out for the season.
Yeah, well, he's out now because he just does not want to take the vaccine.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
And we're starting to see that. Look what happened. People. You mentioned it's about the Southwest. I was flying Southwest this week, and I'm glad that my flights didn't get affected. But we are definitely looking. Yeah, these people aren't. And it was great when Biden goes, "Oh, well, we went from 50% to 98% vaccinated at United Airlines." Well, they fired. When you get rid of that many people, how good is that?
Well, Hitler had most of the people under control in Germany too. So they were about 98% too. But like you said, Doug, there's no reason that you force somebody to do what they want to do. Listen, it's declining. COVID's declining. They will never tell you this. The numbers are dropping. They're dropping big time, man. And you know what? DeSantis had it right. Florida was no different than any other state. We've been open. Our economy's been great for the last several months. There's no different from Florida to Oklahoma. It's all the same. And the funny thing about it is he had it right, and no one will ever tell him he has it right. Never. And they're never going to tell you that it's getting better, and it is getting better.
Yeah, it is getting better, and it's something that's just going to be around. And they just came out, and I've mentioned this. I had somebody actually reach back out to me and said, you're right. You brought this up. I didn't think you were right because you're a dumb homo. And I said, what'd you call me? And then I meant to call you a cocksucker. And I'm like, all right, that's better. Because I actually don't do it as a profession. But they said
I'm in college. It doesn't count. Go ahead.
They actually have a quote. They have Biden from last year going, any president who watched 200,000 people die, that he needs to step down as president. Well, over 380,000 people now have died under Biden's watch.
In less time.
With a vaccine.
Yep.
With all the PPE, with everything you need, and all that, more of an understanding, much more of a knowledge of this virus. More people now have died under Biden's watch than Trump. And those are and of course if you ask somebody on the left or that are like, oh, that's different. Listen,
it is what it is. Facts are facts. You can't deny facts.
No. And it's just amazing all these people, like he said, those deaths are on him. Well, all these deaths are on Biden. And the only thing that's good about it is his obviously his numbers are way down. Nobody trusts him. Nobody trusts the current administration. And I'm going to talk to one of my little points here. I'm going to bring up about his vice president, who is fucking lady. Anyway, we're going to get to that. But I think, there's a time of reckoning, and it's all, there's a lot more and more people that are just tired of this shit.
Yeah. And I think that's why I started this show. I don't get rich doing this show. I enjoy it, and it gets me a chance to vent so I don't write an email that will get me in trouble. I think it's a little bit better than email. But you know what? It's funny because, everything is considered racism. No matter what you say, they don't agree. It's the first thing they say is you're racist. Even when I argue with people, if they don't agree, we say there's nothing rebuttal but you're racist. That's the only rebuttal they have.
Yeah, people just want to make fun of you. They attack you. They don't talk about they just attack you for your feelings, and it's ridiculous,
Yeah.
What else you got, Mark?
Well, I want you to finish up what you were talking about our lovely vice president, because she's always one of my favorite topics.
Well, first of all, where is she? Where is Kamala Harris? She's supposedly the one in charge of the border, and that's all fucked up. But then, now you have to watch this video. If you have not seen this video of Kamala Harris, they've shot a promo or some information for NASA and everything NASA's doing. And she's so out of touch that they had to hire child actors. They couldn't have regular children in there. And if you watch this, it's cringeworthy, because when she talks on this thing, it appears that she's never spoken to any child ever in her life. It is phony. It is awkward. It is just, how is this? It just exposes her for her uselessness and her completely being out of touch. And she's like, you're going to be able, NASA's going to be, and you guys could go to the moon. And, oh, God. You got to watch it.
I am going to watch it. I haven't watched it yet, but she is cringeworthy, and she is such a phony. Even when she was on, I forget what radio station was, she said she smoked weed with Snoop Dogg, and she was like 30 years too old to be doing that. And in college, she was like 38 when Snoop Dogg had his first hit, and she got caught in a lie, and everybody let her go. They all let her go. She had a free pass on that. You know, it's so funny. She got a free pass, and it was blatantly such a lie. And then if Trump would have done that, forget it. But they would have nailed him to the cross.
And the other thing was, on Christopher Columbus Day on Monday, she went on. She talked about Indigenous People Day, which that's fine. Let's celebrate American Indians. I love American Indians, and we all know the atrocities that happened.
What the atrocities happened? The casino. I lost all my money. I'm not big with the Indians right now. So let's get past the Indians.
Get back to the white man.
I'm glad they took their land, man. They got me for like $2,200 the other day.
Mark himself is paying back all the payments.
I gave him back plenty. Forget about the horses and the mule and whether you get the land. I gave back plenty.
But here is our vice president, right, of this country that she supposedly represents. And she's just going through this stuff, demonizing, and she knows what she's doing, the white man, the colonists,
of course.
How they came here and they just destroyed everything. Look, we all know there's ugliness in the world, but here's the thing we have to look at. When you look at the American Indians, I mean, their tribes were fighting amongst themselves. It wasn't like all the tribes in all American Indians were having get-togethers and doing Tupperware parties together and shit. They were fighting. They're all fighting for their own territories. They were fighting.
Back then, everybody fought for territory. Go ahead.
They all fought for it. So that's what progress happened. That's just the way things were. They weren't chosen. They just were. Christopher Columbus came here. There was other people, other explorers, and the fucking Vikings and shit. It was just the way of the land. That's the way things happened.
But Doug, I'm sorry, but Doug, people don't realize slavery was everywhere. Brazil, slavery was everywhere. They act like slavery only happened in the United States. It happened everywhere. Matter of fact, it was bigger in other places, way bigger. Brazil
I don't know if you saw that. Market. I just realized that something like 93% of blacks taken from Africa went to Brazil.
Exactly. Yes.
3% of them came to this country, right? And again, this was a time. And again, you can't judge, like if you went back to when I was 4 years old and judged my moral compass then compared to where I am now with today, knowing who I am today, you can't do that. You can't look back that far using current knowledge and understanding and wisdom in judging the actions of our history.
We know what the problem, I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's just advancement. That's what advancement means. You get better and better as time goes on. And this fucking bitch. Yeah, I said it. I can't stand Kamala Harris. This woman gets on there and talks to the American public saying the United States is fucked. We fucked things up. We were fucking bad. No, if we didn't do that, we'd all be running around with bows and arrows right now, living in teepees, right? This was the way. This is just the way of things were. Things get ugly. That's just the way it is. And you know what? We'll even have to deal with that shit too when our current administration lets fucking China mull us over and got us into one new world order and one fucking government around the world. That's where we're going to get to. So, be careful what you worry about and who you fucking blame and what's going on.
Yeah, the problem is, this is the problem I was trying to get at. Most people don't know history. Most people just know what people tell them. Slaves, 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 slaves. Everybody's worried about slaves from fucking 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, but nobody's worried about the slaves of today. And the slaves of today is the sex traffickers, that all these young girls are forced to have sex, which is a slave when you're forced to have sex. And from a lot of minority pimps and white, everybody, it's not just minority pimps, but nobody cares about that. We don't even talk about that. And there's more sex slaves in 2021 than there was in 1867. Okay, it's a huge, huge, huge problem, and nobody cares. Nobody cares.
The problems of the world are no different. They're different. They're labeled differently. They look different, But like I said, we're all sinful. And if the problem I have is don't judge the sins of the past. I mean, they just are. They are. Do we get better? Again, you watch some of these things on like social media. These young college kids like, this country's the fucking worst, and it's like, really? I bet you never stepped out of the country. I bet you never left your fucking mama's basement, to make such a proclamation. And that's the thing, this ethnocentric understanding of these people in this country, and they badmouth the country. Well, fucking leave, or go somewhere else. Tell me where it's better.
Yeah, leave, go to Ecuador and make 6 cents an hour making shoes, and see how that does you. See if you can get a nice hot meal at Ruth Chris. Go and see if you can enjoy what you need to enjoy. Listen, I don't care who you are. Coming to the United, I have people that come over there from this country with nothing. They didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. Greek people, Italian people, black people. And you know what? They make a living. They make a living. People risk their lives for a reason. You don't risk your life to go to a place if it sucks.
Yeah. And this is not a very funny show, by the way. We're just so riled up right now. But you know what? That's the way it is. Sometimes it is. Yeah.
Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes, you just got to speak the facts. It has its humor in its moments, but today we're a little riled up today, man, because a lot's happening. But I do have a funny story, so this will kind of make things a little better instead of not 2 angry people. These fucking guys are angry, man. Holy shit! I mean, I just came on to watch and enjoy and laugh, and these motherfuckers are just going off at each other. But here's a kind of a funny story, man. Can you imagine this? You're at a Chicago Cubs game, and you're watching, and it's like, it's a great game, man. Next guy clocks a ball, and you're ready to catch a ball, and all of a sudden a man with a fake leg jumps up in the air and catches the ball in his leg. So a man with a prosthetic leg actually caught a home run ball hit in one of the playoff games.
So wait a minute. So the guy took off his leg. This must have been a really slow hit foul ball. So the guy takes off his leg. And then he caught it in the upper part of it?
I have a feeling that the guy had probably it ready. I have a feeling. I mean, I don't think he thought he was going to catch it, but maybe it's one of those things you can just pop off real quick. But the ball was coming. He got it off, and everybody's going for the ball, and he sticks his leg up in the air with the hole in it, and he actually caught it in the hole. And he's talented. They actually should sign that guy because that's a hard catch.
I was going to say, not only that, it would be really funny if he took his leg and swung his leg and hit it out of the park. I mean, that's the oddest fucking thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I told you a story one time. I was being heckled at a comedy club in Daytona, and the guy wouldn't shut up, and I finally lost. Like, well, I'm going to go down there and beat your ass. The guy goes, well, I'm going to take off my fake leg then. I'm like, oh, great. I'm picking on a handicapped guy.
Killed your joke.
Yeah, the room went, and then some guy in the back of the room goes, sweep the leg, Dougie. You know what I mean? So everybody has a little humor, but that's amazing. So,
yeah.
Have you ever caught a foul ball in a game?
I have, man, but I'm not going to lie to you. And it wasn't like with 60,000 people, I caught it in a spring. I actually caught 2 in one game, a spring training game. It was back when I was younger. And it was funny, man. 2 foul balls I caught. And it was probably about, 7,000 or 8,000 people. I mean, I caught 2. So, yeah, it was pretty interesting.
I've actually caught a foul ball. I think it was at a Marlins game. And I actually caught a puck. I shouldn't say I caught it, but I avoided getting killed by it.
You got the puck?
Yeah, at a Florida Panthers game. The guy went to clear the back of it out before they had the nets, before those people died. Yeah. The guy went to clear it and went and started coming at us. My buddy, I go, duck, and I push him, and the thing hit the guy's seat. You know what I mean? And it was like right there.
Some damage.
Oh, puck, man, what are you, crazy? So that would do a lot of damage. Yeah, so I got lucky and I caught a couple balls, man. I was younger, but since that day, no, I haven't caught one. But it's funny when you go to a ball game, people will risk their lives over a $9 baseball. It's like, I understand if it's Mark McGwire's 70th home run and it has real value. But when you're talking about a friggin' baseball that you can't prove a scrub, a backup shortstop hit a ball foul, that you can't get anything for it, people will literally punch, kick, throw their bear, but get their wife in the way. They'll put their wife in the way. I've seen one where they'll literally put their wife in the way or throw them out of the way, drop the bear on the wife. And it's like everything goes for this $8 baseball. Well, I was going to ask you, you're a collectible guy. How would, if somebody actually caught, like you mentioned, people have fallen from grace, Mark McGwire, him and Sammy Sosa. But you know what I mean? But how would you do? You'd have to go get it. You have to get it authenticated. Like maybe take the picture, right? Of the ball when you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you a little information because that's a great question, actually. So on special balls, like when Cal Ripken broke the record for most
special balls like these,
but special balls like maybe Bonds hitting a special home run or something of that value. They actually authenticate the ball right on the spot. So if you catch the ball, the security guards come. They try and get the ball back first of all, because most of the players want it. If you don't want to give the ball back, there's a way to authenticate it with the ticket. There's a ways to authenticate it. I think the McGwire ball, Todd McFarlane, the artist, paid $3 million for the ball. It's not worth that now because of the steroids and everything, but he paid $3 million from the guy who caught the ball. So that's the ball where I'll kill somebody. If that ball's coming out and you know you're going to be an instant millionaire, there's going to be some fighting going on. They're not getting that ball. But but you know, a regular foul ball is a regular foul ball. But yes, there is certain events where the ball is worth a lot of money.
Yeah, what was that? It was a golf. I think it was a golf match, right? Where somebody won like the Masters or something. He threw the ball in the lake, and everybody went running to get the fucking ball.
And there's probably 900 balls in the lake. You're not getting the right one.
How do you know that's the one? You know, I remember one time playing golf at it was in Margate. I forgot McDivitt's, that place. I forgot it was.
Yeah.
And it was like drizzling in between the holes, and I was sitting there. I went to take a practice swing with my 3-wood, and I was like. my club went flying and landed in the middle of this canal. Like it wasn't just like a flowing canal. It was like one of these cesspool, like all this kelp and grass and shit. I'm like, I don't know what made me think I could find my club in this thing. So I went back to my house. I got the pool thing, the pool when you clean a pool.
Oh yeah.
And I went to stick it in the water. I mean, it was just like this. And I said, I got to go in there, right? So I get in there. It's freezing cold. I get in there. And as I get in there, I'm going down like 4 feet underwater, and I'm looking. I go, I don't even see my hands.
Man. You act like it was missing gold or some temperature.
I couldn't even see my hands in front of me. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing in this canal? Catching hepatitis, getting eaten by an alligator for fucking
free golf club. I mean, come on, man, Doug. That's a little bit much, man. So we could probably hit one more topic because it flew by today, man. I think that little angry rant we had was like 15 minutes long, but let's get one more. Let's end up on a good note. Give me a good one.
All right. Well, I don't know how much of a comic person, like comic books, superheroes. Like I've always been a Marvel guy. I've not been a DC guy. I love Marvel, much better. I've always collected Marvel comic books. The Avengers, Iron Man, Captain America. Daredevil. I love Daredevil. I loved all that shit. And I was never a big DC fan. And but DC Comics is Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and although I did masturbate to women. Wonder Woman when I was a kid, especially that Linda Carter. Oh, she was so hot.
But not the comic book. It was the actual person.
No, sometimes I couldn't find it. I mean, what are you gonna do? It was either that or the Sears catalog in the underwear section. Yeah, but now things. Hey, even comics, even superheroes are getting woke. But the new Superman, DC's new version of Superman, is now bisexual.
Why not? Why not? Let's ruin everything for kids. Let's kids have nothing, okay? We'll have gay Spider-Man, transgender Wonder Woman. Let's just fuck everything up for everybody, okay? We can't just keep anything normal. Not that transgender's not, well, it's not normal, but not that it's just.
Hey, don't say that shit. I mean,
hey,
it's
let
normal,
me tell you something.
It's normal for a small percentage of the population, right?
There you go.
Okay. Come on.
Well, you know what normal is? You know what the definition of normal?
What?
The definition is normal. If the majority is one way and the minority is another way, one is normalized, one is not normalized. So that's the definition of normal, okay? So it's not my definition, it's Webster. So yell at Webster. Don't fucking yell at me, okay? So, I mean, not for anything, man. Leave Superman alone, okay? Superman always liked Lois. Now, who is he like? He likes the other guy, Peter Parker? What's the other guy, the reporter? Who's the reporter that used to run around?
Clark Kent.
No, Clark Kent was the Superman. The guy that worked for Jimmy Olsen. So now he's going after Jimmy Olsen. He's not. Well, you know what? Today I'll bang Jimmy Olsen. Tomorrow I'll bang Lois Lane. Yeah. You know what? Lois and Jimmy, let's both go in a room. Let's have a crazy threesome.
Have a threesome. Why not? And you know what? I mean, listen. It's one thing. I mean, I always wonder how Lois Lane, had sex with Superman. I mean, like I've said this before. I'm like, if Lois Lane and Superman broke up, where does she go from there? You know what I mean? Like,
what is Superman? He's Superman. But even Superman probably has once a while, like, I'm sorry, honey, I didn't expect that, Yeah. I mean, you're Superman. I know it's 10 seconds, I'll tell you the one I have a problem with, not to get up the subject. This is the one I have a problem with because you're talking about a woman. What about the Hulk when he's Bill Bixby? And then she got, they're having rough sex and all of a sudden he's like, that fucking girl's dead. She doesn't have a chance. She's done.
Yeah,
right?
The Hulk. I was amazed how the Hulk would go from weighing 140 pounds to 600 pounds, but the pants still on his. He still
has a little tiny pants they didn't rip off.
If I eat the last slice of pizza on the fucking plate, I end up getting a button in my pants. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand how that went. But then, it's comic books, it's not real life. But it's just, to me, it's amazing how this happens because, and listen, whatever it is, I love the homosexual community. I mean, if whatever it is, be good. They're just people. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're living their lives, not my life. They're
No
their
problem with it. Yes, no
their
problem.
lives. I mean, whatever. Now the thing is with this kind of stuff, and that you get aggravated with, is when they try to push their lifestyle on
Agenda.
others.
Yeah,
You put
make
your-
a new superhero. Don't fuck with make him trans man. Trans man. He comes saves the day. Men, women. He doesn't care. He'll save your life. He's trans man. You know what I'm saying? Make a new character. He dresses as in women's clothing. Now he's a man. I mean, whatever. I don't know what power he would have. What kind of power? Beat you up with a pocketbook. But what I'm saying is, leave it alone. This is Superman. It's Superman. Leave it alone.
Yeah, well, some of the comic books had their first transgender one. I think it was Marvel had somebody who's like
That's
that.
Good.
Awesome. I mean, good. They should. It's just like anything. But it's like it's just amazing how we're trying to All right, I get it. You want children that are in that that are gay when they're young. You don't want them to be picked on. You want it to kind of be like, hey, And I get it. You don't want those kids to be ostracized and demonized and treated like that. You know what I mean? But do we really have to turn everything into that? It's like you said, it's like there's a minority and there's a majority. The way I've understood it is homosexuality in society is about 5 to 6 to 7% basically of society. Transgenderism is maybe 1% or a fraction of a percent. And that's the way it is. But do we have to have 50% of the commercials having gay people on them now? Do we have to have 50% of the, we have to see, I mean, it's
what about the 100th of 1% that bang goats? Can we have something for that? Maybe a superhero goat boy? I mean, can we have something?
This is just in, Mark. The next new Spider-Man for Marvel will be a goat fucker. Peter Parker's going to be a goat fucker.
Goat fuckers. There's goat fuckers out there. And they're probably watching this podcast saying, yes, thank you, Mark. The word is out. And Mark is talking about this because we need to talk about minorities. The goat fuckers out there their voice had not been heard. It hasn't been heard, Doug.
What about the bestiality people? These people they're under earth. We got to understand that, but it is against the law for bestiality, I guess.
Yeah.
You did do.
I guess we got to let that one slide then. But what I'm saying, I'm not trying to make fun of it. And I know we're joking. We're trying to have a little comedy with this. All I'm saying is give kids a chance. If they want to go that way, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. Stop forcing them to go that way. Stop dressing your kids as girls when they're boys. Let them have a chance. They're young. Let them figure out what they want. If they decide they want, listen, you don't drive till you're 18. If you figure you want to do what you want to do it on your own. Stop forcing things on kids. Stop forcing Spider-Man to be transgender or bisexual, whatever it is. Let it be Superman. If you want to make a separate comic book for separate, what about the straight kids that like a Superman? Why'd you just ruin it for them? Why'd you just ruin it for those kids?
Is it ruined? Like, in other words, if I'm a Superman, like a big Superman fan, now I know Superman's bi. I mean, does that really change? I mean, it doesn't like.
As a kid, maybe.
Well, I'm just saying,
maybe.
Here's the thing about bisexuality. Homosexuality is one thing to me. Like, in other words, you have that, I like women. I grew up liking women. That's just the way it is. So if I had grown up the other way, I guess that's the way it is. But to have both, that is almost that. That to me is almost,
real quick. I gotta tell you the truth, man, and I'm coming out right now. I am bisexual. If I can't get it for free, I buy it. So I am actually bisexual. So I just figured I'd come out right now.
I just think that's that aspect's more of a sex. That to me, bisexuality really isn't it is a choice. Where homosexuality really isn't. You just feel a certain way, right? And I don't know. It's just a weird thing. Like, that's more when that's when you're focusing on your sexuality more than anything else. You know what I mean? And that's something to look at as human beings. We're very sexually natured, right?
Yeah.
That's what they said. If the more sex you have, the more
you froze on me.
To move on and try all these new things, because you're not being satisfied, and who knows?
I'll be honest, I'm still working on the old things. So the new things, I haven't accomplished the old things yet. So I don't want to add too many. Like Ronnie Dangerfield says, I have 2 girls in case I fall asleep, they can talk to each other. At my age, man, the old things are fine, man. But all I'm saying is it's okay. It's okay to be gay. It's okay to be transsexual. It's okay. All these things are okay. But we don't have to have big parades about it. You're just a person like I am. You don't have to go bing bong. We have to go to the parade. No, we're all human.
I don't care. Let them have their parades. Let them have their celebrations. Let them have their day. Let them have all that. It's all great. everybody should be equal. The only difference is nobody should be treated special.
I
And
agree.
you know what I
That's
mean?
what I was trying to get at. That's what I was trying to get at.
As much as I, I feel that, if somebody's to the gay community, God bless, who am I to tell you how to live? I'm just trying to figure out my own shit. I'm barely not going to waste my time telling you how to live. Right. But the gay community shouldn't be telling people of faith how to believe in what they should do.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's okay. I don't care. But just stop making everything about that. Just make it about everything. Stop everything and make it about one thing. I don't want to hear about one thing. I'm straight. I don't go around saying, it doesn't matter. Like I said, we're all equal. Let's just start acting equal. We don't need to have special treatment.
Be who you are. Be who you are.
Exactly.
Whatever you are, you are. It doesn't matter. I'm a gay man. Well, you're a man. What's the difference? Do I have to say I'm a heterosexual man? No, I'm a guy. That's it, Whatever I do,
stop labeling people for what they are, like Morgan Freeman said it best. If you stop saying he's a black man, he's a white man, we're men. We're all equal. And believe it or not, that's what I'm for. I'm for equality. So we have to act like we're equal. We stop to have no racism, no reverse racism. We just have to be people. We have to treat people right.
Absolutely. The less we point out our differences and we just respect them, the more we are one human element. We are one. We are people. That's it.
That was beautiful, Doug. That was beautiful. Thank you very much. Hold on, I got a tissue. My left eye has a little water. What is this watery substance? Hey, listen, man. The show went over like it always does. I thought it was a great show. It was got a lot of things out. We had humor at the end, thank God. It got a little touch and go, but it's a pleasure doing it. It's always a pleasure doing it with Doug, man. He's a funny guy. If you get a chance to see him, I always say every show, he's great. He's excellent. He didn't place on the top 12 in Las Vegas if he wasn't. So, Doug, where are you going to be?
This Friday and Saturday, I'm going to be in Fort Wayne, Indiana, at the Fort Wayne Comedy Club. So come out Friday shows, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, maybe 1 show Friday, 2 shows Saturday. Either way, go to Fort Wayne, Indiana Comedy Club this weekend. If you're in the area, please share that information. Tell people to come see us.
Yep, definitely go. You going to be in Florida anytime soon?
November 10th, I'm going to be at the Gatsby's right down the road from you. Gatsby's in Fort Lauderdale, headlining Gatsby's joint. And then I'm going to be, we're hoping, going to be at Gregory's Comedy Club in Cocoa Beach the 12th and 13th of November as well. Just found out that club's not having any shows in October. I don't know if it's a staffing thing with them, but hopefully they'll be back at it in November, and we'll be seeing those dates then. Go to DougieAlmeida.com for more dates.
I will probably go to that Gatsby show. I'm looking forward to it. And me, I do what I do all the time, man. I love what I do. I just was in Alabama buying all kinds of unusual, great stuff. If you guys have it, please give me a call. 770-355-9400. Give me a call. I will buy whatever you got. I love vintage. I love all kinds of unusual stuff. And that being said, man, enjoy your life. Just enjoy the show. Like I said, don't take it so personal what we say. It's our opinion. And we're just getting our opinion out there, man. We don't want everybody to be equal. We want everybody to be happy, and that's how we feel, man. And we just want Joe Biden out. That's it. I mean, I think that's all we want, And Kamala.
That's happening. It's happening. He's digging a bigger and bigger hole, and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Red wave in 2022, baby.
Let's see what happens, boys and girls. Everybody, enjoy what you do. Peace out. Keep hustling.